Right now, there are millions of ants crawling beneath your feet, above your head, and probably within arm's reach of where you're sitting. That's 2.5 million ants for every human on Earth. While you've been worried about who runs your country, ants have been quietly running the entire planet. They move more soil than earthworms, control more ecosystems than any other species, and have built civilizations that make human cities look like amateur hour. They've been farming for 50 million years, waging wars for territories larger than entire countries, and operating the most sophisticated societies on Earth. Ants are often perceived as simple, mindless pests that invade our homes. People see them as insignificant insects that can be easily crushed. This perception couldn't be more wrong. In reality, ants are the most successful social organisms on the planet, with complex civilizations that have dominated Earth for over 100 million years. In this video, you'll learn how ants live, why they're virtually indestructible as a species, how they differ from other insects, and why they truly rule our planet. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive in. Here's an interesting fact. Ants have been perfecting social organization for 140 million years. They had thriving civilizations when dinosaurs were still learning to walk upright. Ants belong to the family Formicidae and comprise over 15,000 described species, with scientists estimating thousands more remain undiscovered. The most remarkable are the social species that build super colonies spanning continents. An ant's body is perfectly designed for their collective lifestyle. They have powerful mandibles for cutting, digging, and fighting, compound eyes that detect movement and polarized light for navigation, and most importantly, antennae that function as sophisticated chemical communication devices. These antennae can detect over 20 different pheromones, allowing them to communicate everything from food here to enemy approaching, to follow this exact path home. Ants build their cities from excavated soil, creating some of the most complex architectural marvels in nature. A single fire ant colony can move 40 tons of soil to create their underground metropolis. These aren't simple tunnels, they're engineered cities with nurseries, food storage chambers, waste disposal areas, ventilation systems, and even air conditioning through strategic airflow design. Some species build their nests so deep they rival human skyscrapers in scale, extending 20 feet underground with intricate highway systems connecting different sections. Unlike solitary insects, ants live in superorganisms where individual survival means nothing compared to colony success. The largest known supercolony is the Argentine ant colony, stretching 3,700 miles along the Mediterranean coast, essentially a single family of ants that has conquered multiple countries. Each colony operates with a caste system more rigid than any human society. Queens who can live 30 years and lay millions of eggs, males whose only purpose is reproduction, and female workers divided into specialized roles like soldiers, nurses, foragers, and architects based on their size and age. Prepare to be amazed. Leafcutter ants have been practicing sustainable agriculture for over 50 million years, growing their own food in climate-controlled underground farms that would make modern farmers jealous. But first, let's talk about what ants actually eat, and the answer is almost everything. Ants are nature's ultimate omnivores, consuming dead insects, seeds, nectar, fruits, fungi, other ants, and even small vertebrates like lizards and birds. Some species are specialized hunters that prey exclusively on termites or other specific insects, while others are opportunistic scavengers that will devour any organic matter they encounter. Different ant species have evolved incredibly diverse diets and food acquisition strategies. Leafcutter ants don't actually eat the leaves they carry. Instead, they use them as fertilizer to grow fungus in massive underground gardens. These fungus farms are so sophisticated that the ants practice crop rotation, pest control, and even use antibiotics produced by bacteria they cultivate on their bodies. Army ants are living nightmares for other insects, forming hunting parties of up to 20 million individuals that sweep across the forest floor like a biological tsunami, devouring everything in their path. Harvester ants collect and store seeds in granaries that can contain enough food to last through years of drought. Some species, like the honeypot ants, have specialized workers called repletes that hang from cave ceilings like living storage tanks, their abdomens swollen with honey to feed the colony during lean times. But perhaps most disturbing are the slave-making ants. Species like Polargus raid other ant colonies, steal their larvae, and raise them as workers who spend their entire lives serving their captors. This practice has been going on for 15 million years, making ants the longest-running practitioners of slavery on Earth. Ants wage wars that make human conflicts look like playground disputes. When fire ant colonies clash, they can mobilize over 100,000 soldiers in coordinated attacks that last for days. These aren't chaotic brawls, they're strategic military operations with scouts, supply lines, reinforcements, and specialized combat units. Some ants have evolved into living weapons. Malaysian exploding ants literally rupture their own bodies to spray toxic chemicals on enemies, sacrificing themselves to save their colony. Weaver ants create living chains with their bodies to build bridges and rafts, allowing their armies to cross water and reach otherwise inaccessible territories. Fire ants can form living rafts during floods, with thousands of ants linking together to create an unsinkable vessel that protects the queen and larvae in the center. The individual ants on the bottom will drown, but the colony survives. Their stingers and bites vary dramatically by species. Fire ants inject venom that causes burning pain and can trigger fatal allergic reactions in sensitive humans. Bullet ants deliver what's considered the most painful insect sting on Earth, so excruciating that indigenous tribes use it as an initiation ritual. Here's the most staggering statistic in ecology. Ants comprise 15 to 20% of all terrestrial animal biomass on Earth. Their combined weight equals or exceeds all humans combined. But here's what makes them true rulers. Every other insect on the planet fears them. Spiders flee when they detect ant pheromones, beetles hide in crevices, even wasps avoid areas with heavy ant activity. Ants are the apex predators of the insect world, and every bug knows it. They are the ultimate ecosystem engineers, fundamentally shaping the environments they inhabit. Ants aerate more soil than earthworms in tropical regions, turning over tons of earth and creating the foundation for plant growth. They disperse more seeds than most other animals, essentially replanting entire forests. In the Amazon, over 200 plant species depend exclusively on ants for seed dispersal. Ants control insect populations on a scale that dwarfs human pest control efforts. A single colony can consume millions of potentially harmful insects per year. Without ants, ecosystems would collapse under swarms of plant-eating insects. They're so crucial that scientists use ant diversity as an indicator of ecosystem health. Where ants thrive, environments are balanced and stable. Economically, ants provide billions of dollars worth of pest control services globally. In agricultural areas, they eliminate crop pests that would otherwise require massive pesticide applications. However, some invasive ant species, like fire ants, cause billions in damage annually, demonstrating the double-edged nature of their ecological power. Ants have also developed sophisticated partnerships with other species. They farm aphids like cattle, protecting them from predators, in exchange for sweet honeydew secretions. Some plants have evolved hollow thorns specifically to house ant colonies, trading shelter for protection from herbivorous insects. These mutually beneficial relationships show ants aren't just taking from ecosystems, they're actively managing and improving them. Ants aren't just tiny insects crawling around our sidewalks. They are the most successful social organisms in Earth's history, running complex civilizations that have endured longer than any human empire. They've mastered agriculture, warfare, architecture, and social organization on a scale that spans continents. While humans have dominated Earth for perhaps 200,000 years, ants have been perfecting their societies for 140 million years. They are living proof that intelligence isn't measured by brain size, but by collective achievement and evolutionary success. The next time you see a line of ants in your kitchen, remember, you're witnessing members of the most successful civilization Earth has ever known.